Minister Robertson's 4 priorities. The first one, improve the overall rates and quality of participation, particularly people with a disability are a low participating population in sport. Any idea why that is?
No, I think quite often they're just overlooked because they're seen that they're maybe not capable of competing at high levels, so then they don't get the opportunity just to give something a go. But yeah, obviously with a lot of the programs that we run, we see that, it really does motivate, and our young children specifically with disabilities, they're right into it. They love sport just as any other able-bodied person. So
is the issue around integration?
Yeah, I think that definitely comes up because there's always that lack of confidence that, say, a student with disability struggles to compete or participate at a level with an able-bodied student, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be segregated. I think a lot of it is around educating non-disabled people around how they can incorporate or include disabled people within, whether it's sport or any kind of physical activity.
So is that also getting alongside the teachers, physical education teachers at schools?
Yeah, often you see in schools, a whole class goes out and does whatever they do for PE, and then the child with a disability is just kind of set to the side, or, maybe they get them to do something on the side of the court or the side of the field.
Like keeping the score or something like that.
Yeah. And often that's maybe all that they are capable of doing, but it's making sure that they've got a role within that, and if it is something like recording the score, quite often as long as they're feeling involved and being a part of that, I think it's really important.
So what's your role with Life Unlimited? How can you help schools or people with disabilities participate in sports? What can you do?
I think it's really important to give them a chance to actually just not assume that they can't do it, and also give them some encouragement to give it a try, because I think that students with disabilities, they pick up if someone thinks that they can't do it, so straight away they just fall back to, oh well, I'm not going to try it. If they're encouraged to give something a go, 9 times out of 10 they are going to give it a go, and they may surprise you on what they can and can't do. They may even surprise themselves. So I think it's really important to make sure that there's some support and resources obviously put around the teachers so they're able to give those students the opportunity to integrate both able-bodied students and disabled students.
Have you found that there's a particular sport or a particular activity that people with disabilities tend to like and enjoy, or it's anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I know they always seem to get into things like basketball or even the low-impact sports like bowls and things like that. But anything where they can work, I know they really enjoy the team sports because they get that social interaction as well.
Right.
So anything with some sort of movement, whether it's got a ball with it or not, or there's always got to be an end goal for them, something for them to achieve. So whether it's them getting a shot in or just being able to pass the ball to their teammate, it seems to give them a ton of satisfaction.
And do you find that parents and caregivers are a bit worried that their child or the person they're caring for might get hurt? Is that something that comes up?
Oh, I suppose now and again it does, but until they actually see, put their young person in that situation, they're not going to really know. And like I said, it's often a chance for the young person to actually believe in themselves and actually give something a go, because unless they try it, they don't know themselves as well. So it's sort of a learning process as they go through anything.
So how does it feel for you though? You're a high performance athlete, you've excelled in a number of sports for New Zealand. Does it bring you down to earth, or does it, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. I love to see people who maybe, whether it's a person with a disability or not, just achieve something that they thought they couldn't do. Prime example is now got a 64-year-old. She's now walking every single morning down to one set of lights and back down to the other, whereas we could barely get her out of the classroom prior to that. Get her out of our driveway. So it's just all those little small achievements I'm really stoked to see, to be a part of and see them achieve those kind of things. A young person in a wheelchair never thought that he could play basketball, and now he regularly attends our sport opportunity program, and he's shooting goals and everything, and we've sort of adapted it to accommodate him, but he loves it, and it's like his highlight of his week to be able to come along and participate in a basketball team.
And is that worth as much to you as scoring a try in the Rugby League World Cup?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same satisfaction, I suppose. It's nice. You kind of feel that you're inspiring, people to get involved, get active, be moving, and more importantly, is just believe in themselves and give something a go.
So what can we as a society do, or as a community do to help people with disabilities find their niche?
Yeah, I think as a society we need to encourage them more. If we see, someone sitting out because they think that they're maybe not capable, or we've assumed they're not capable, just get behind them and ask them if they want to go. If we see someone sitting on the sideline, or you can see that they're keen to get in but haven't been involved, we need to start involving them, and start accepting that they get just as much enjoyment out of it as people who are participating.
So how long have you been with Life Unlimited, honey?
6 years.
Okay. In the same role?
Yes, mostly. But mostly, based out in the community, doing a variety of different things out there.
Mm-hmm. Is this primarily in Hamilton, or?
Yes, yeah, mostly based in Hamilton, but out and about some of the wider Waikato as well.
Yeah, and how many would you how many are in your sphere of interest? I mean, how many people are we talking about?
Yeah, I suppose within our community service team, we probably reach around 300 people.
Okay.
And within our sporting or physical activity programs, we probably reach around 150.
Yeah. And you couldn't do it without some help from other organisations. You talked about Sport Waikato, but you talked about bowls. Do you find sporting organisations are willing to help?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had a lot of clubs or volunteer coaches come on board to help us run our after school program. We also have the local rugby club that allows us to use their venue to run some of our fitness programs. We're partnering up with Methodist City Action, who are helping us run our low impact programs. So also the University of Waikato are allowing us to use their facilities. So we've got a lot of other organisations out there that are allowing us to either they're either supporting us to deliver so we can get sport or physical activity out to people with disabilities, or use their venue or resources, which has been awesome.
What do you say to people who say, it's just tokenism?
Yeah, I don't know. I always see those people are probably the ones that haven't actually come out and had a look for themselves. And if they actually came out and observed and seen the smile on these kids' faces, maybe they'd reconsider those assumptions. To see the joy on not just our school age students, but right through to our adults. They get the same feel good vibes once they've achieved a fitness program, a circuit training, or a walk around the lake. They get those same feel good vibes that you do whenever you participate in any kind of physical activity. So I'd tell them to go out and just observe and check it out.